I just wanna break down. After all the time that you kicked me on the way out. Sticks and stones break bones, but your words hurt a different way. Somehow, now all I seek is silence from your mouth. My God, what a beautiful sound. My God, what a beautiful break down. After all the time that you kicked me on the way out. Sticks and stones break bones, but your words hurt a different way. Somehow, now all I seek is silence from your mouth. My God, what a beautiful sound. My God, what a beautiful. Like an instrument, you plug me to you.
And we're on. I hope you guys enjoyed that little 1-minute clip I put together in record time. But
We were at the Q concert.
they don't need to know that. Anyways. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kill the Credits. And I'm your host, Keelan. Today, we're going to be having a roundtable discussion, talking spoilers about A24's new horror film, Undertone. And I have 4 guests. We added a 4th one at the last second. But I want to give all 4 of them a very warm welcome. I hope you guys do the same. We have Brett, my co-host from Chills and Thrills, also 1/3 from Good Real Hunting. We have Destiny Faulkner. Yeah. And then we have just kidding. And then she doesn't have a channel, guys. She doesn't do any. I mean, she does stuff, but anyways. And then we have Tyler and Roscoe from Glitterboys Screams. Thank you guys all for joining me tonight.
Of course.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. How are we all doing? How is our days?
Good. We're in the process of moving, early stages of moving, so it's been interesting.
Stress. Sounds like stress. What about you, Brett? How you doing?
Very.
No, I'm doing good. Just having a little bit of a like half weird day, half good day. So I'm just trying to transform all that to make it a really good day with this stream.
There you go. That's the only way to do it. And then Destiny, how are we today?
Hot, tired,
Fair enough.
cranky.
Fair enough.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not cranky. Hot and tired, but excited.
I'm excited too. I have a whole list of notes, and I've been trying to avoid any of your guys' letterbox, any of your shorts, anything having to do with this movie and y'all's opinions. I've tried really hard to just avoid it completely. So this will be like my first time being able to hear what you guys think about it. So that's going to be fun. But before we get into that, I want to go ahead and just say hello to everybody who's in the chat real quick. So we have Animistic Blues saying, let's go, haha. Animistic Blues watched my spoiler-free review and found my channel that way a couple days ago. So I appreciate you for turning that notification on and then joining us for the stream. Welcome in. And then we have Davey. Says, excited to hear what you guys have to say. I'll be driving all the way across town, so you'll be my radio. I'm glad that I can return the favor, because that's kind of what you do for me pretty often, Davey. I swear, Riverside needs to change their feature with the chat, where every time a new message comes in, it scrolls all the way up, and it's horrible. We have Erica. How you doing, Erica? Thank you so much for being here. Ooh. Then we have Ashton. Hey, everyone. Just got back from seeing it. Awesome. So you made it back just in time. Thank you for being here, Ashton. We have... I want to scream. This chat thing is insane. Oh, nope. That's the wrong one. There we go. We got Jamie. How you doing, Jamie? Thanks for stopping in. You know what? I'm just going to go off the names and screw the chats, because it's really difficult to have to keep scrolling up because people keep messaging.
I was going to say, do you have your cell phone? Because
you know
that'd
what?
be the best way to do it.
That is a much better idea. That's a much
No, it's
better
okay.
idea.
It's okay. I've done plenty of streams with Braden, and I just found it to where it's like, Braden, you gotta just use your cell phone. Like,
Yes, thank you. Oh, this is peak right here. Appreciate that. All right, back to what I was saying. I said hi to Jamie. We have Stephanie in the chat. How are you doing, Stephanie? Thank you for being here. We have my beautiful girlfriend Olivia in the chat. How you doing, Olivia? Let's see. We have Blu-ray Addict. I'm not going to give you the whole spiel because I got the same addiction as you, so I'll leave that for Brett on his time, not mine. Let's see. How do I still lose my place on my own? Insanity. Blu-ray. Oh, we got Tia. How you doing, Tia? Thanks for being here. Long time no talk. And don't think I missed anybody. I think that is everybody that's in here so far. Let me just do one more once over. Destiny, they're roasting your temperature in the chat. The temperature of the room in the chat. They said your camera makes it look hot in there. That's funny.
I knew it looked like shit. Ashton, you're a liar. I knew it looked like shit because I'm looking at myself on my iPad. I'm like, I'm so blurry, but on my camera, I'm not blurry. It is that hot. It's literally 90 degrees in here. Someone help. Well, I'm sorry. It looks like shit. It's because I'm on my phone, I'm sure.
And then I see one new name. We have King of Sanity 3447. Thank you for being here, King of Sanity. Let's see if there's any questions or anything I can address beforehand, and then we'll go ahead and just get started. If not, okay, they're talking about garden gnomes and peens. I'm not going to address that. All right, I think we're good to go. I think we're good. Okay, so Undertone. This movie. Okay, let's start off with this. Who was looking forward to this movie when the trailer came out? Let's go. I don't know if you guys see me in the same order. I got Brett in the top left and I'm in the bottom right, and then Destiny's above me. I don't know. No? Okay. Well, we'll start.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
I'm top left and Destiny's bottom right, and then on
Okay.
the YouTube channel, Destiny's top right. Like, I'm all confused.
I don't even know why. Yeah. Everyone's roasting me for having Riverside, so I definitely need to switch over to StreamYard. But I just paid for this month of Riverside, so we got to get through the month at least. But anyways, okay, I guess I'll start with Brett. We'll go to Tyler and Roscoe, and then Destiny, and then myself. Were you looking forward or excited to this movie when the trailer first came out?
Well, the real answer for me is just it's either or. Like, I was looking forward to it just because, hey, we get another horror movie of 2026, where 2026 has been giving us really good horror movies and just really interesting ideas for horror. And this one in particular had a really interesting idea. Wasn't really looking forward to it just because it's like, okay, it might be like A24 one. They're like under A24 film. So it's not going to be like one of their elite ones, but you know what? A24 has really never disappointed me like thus far with like a really bad one. So it's just like, I wasn't really looking forward to it, but at the same time, I'm like, we just get another horror movie of 2026. So let's just go ahead and add it to the calendar for a theater experience.
All right. I love it. I love it. Tyler, Roscoe, what about you guys?
I feel like for me, this was probably like my most anticipated horror movie of the year so far. So I was very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
The
for you,
promo was
Roscoe?
crazy.
Yeah, same for me. I was terrified to see it because I thought the trailers made it look super scary.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was definitely excited for it.
Awesome.
It was definitely very hyped. It was a very hyped movie.
Yeah, especially, I don't know why like marketers continue to do this where they're like scariest movie of the year. It's like, stop doing that. But Yeah. Destiny, what about you?
I didn't watch the trailer for it, so I went into it literally. I didn't know anything about it other than everyone saying how scary it was supposed to be, which like I take that with a grain of salt. So I just went
Mhm.
in just wanting to watch something fun. It was like 90 minutes, which is cool because I feel like a lot of stuff now is like 2 hours long. So I can't say I was necessarily looking forward to it from the trailers or anything, but I was curious to see what it was about.
Nice. Yeah. So for me, I don't even think I finished the trailer, and I think like every time the trailer popped up, I was very quick to try to skip it. I'm not really much of a trailer watcher in general. I just feel like they give way too much away, and then ends up ruining the experience for me. So I was kind of there with you as well, Destiny, as far as like just kind of trying to avoid the trailer or just not watch it. Um, the premise and sort of like some of the visuals and it being attached to A24 was enough for me to have some sort of intrigue. Um, but when going into it, I kind of was just like hoping for something good, but I really didn't have high expectations for it. I just was like, let's see what we have. So, um, that being said, I will say, I think for the most part, it did actually end up exceeding my expectations. Now, I'm not sure if that's because because they weren't very high or, um, if it actually was that good, if that makes sense. Like, because I wasn't expecting very much at all, it might have, ended up being better than I had anticipated or it just surprised me. Um, I don't wanna skip too far ahead because I do want us to be able to, like, get into the things we liked and the details and then eventually talk more about the ending of the movie. But, for me, and then I would love to hear what you guys all have to say on this. The number one thing that stood out to me about this movie that ended up, having the best impression was how it made my body react to certain things, like constant goosebumps, chills, things of that nature, like natural body responses that really was making me feel uncomfortable and shifty even after leaving the theater. Like 15 minutes after being out of the theater, I still had like that sensation on my arms, like my hair standing up or just feeling very uneasy. So I feel like, to me, if nothing else, the best thing that Undertone did was really give me that visceral, natural reaction. So, was it the same experience for you guys, or was there something else that stood out what stood out to you guys the most, if not the natural body reactions to things? And, uh, the order thing. Anybody wanna go first? We can raise hands because the it's not funny.
Well,
Alright,
technically,
Destiny thinks
Destiny
that's
just
funny.
spoke first. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Destiny. Why don't you go ahead and answer the question?
Pretty much what you said was the way it made my body feel.
Mm,
I wouldn't like say there are a lot of things and there were jump scares in it, and I wouldn't say those necessarily got me, but it was the buildup and the lingering shots. I don't know if anyone's seen Skin and Marique. Anyone?
Mm-hmm.
It was widely
unfortunately.
hated.
Unfortunately.
All right. It's not what I
Yeah.
asked.
I know. I'm
Um,
sorry.
But this movie made me feel the same way that Skin and Marique made me feel, even though I would say that movie, the way the camera moves is confusing, like the way the shots are positioned is supposed to make you feel a certain way. And I kind of got the same vibe from this, like whenever we would see our main character like sitting there and the camera would like focus in, but then start like shifting backwards or like it would take a really long time just to slowly move and like pan around to really nothing would be there, but it would have you, thinking there's something back there, or something's going to
Mhm,
happen, or
mhm,
anything like that. So I really, that's like the biggest thing, which going into it, I had heard that already is like it's supposed to like make you feel a certain type of way. And I agree with you, Keelan. I do think in that aspect, it did succeed for me. I would say like the story itself, I don't think was like the strongest part of it, but I really did like the way that it made me feel. That was really cool. And then like the last like 15 minutes, although abrupt, I do think it made me like feel like, oh wow, this is really cool. So the story itself, not the strongest, I think, but I think it did have some really good parts to it.
Okay. Love it. Brett, why don't we just move on to you?
Okay. But no, I definitely agree about the visuals. I like recently I just watched the movie What Lies Beneath, and I have just been singing its praises about camera quality and the different camera shots and angles and all that. So lately with movies, I've been paying really close attention to the camera work, and I thought this movie had a lot of great potential with the camera work. I thought it did a really lot of nice shots. It's just unfortunately with those shots, kind of like what Desi was referring to, like it was moving around the room that you were expecting to see something. But I think what the movie was trying to do is like trying to play mind games with you in a way. Like they make you want to see, it's like in your mind, or it's like Dave McRae best says, famous YouTuber, going, theater of the mind. It's your interpretation. Like you think there's a shadowy figure in the corner and all that. But I just feel like it honestly like didn't go anywhere. At least they can maybe a couple of times could have done something scary with it when they were paying over the camera, because it also reminded me kind of like a little bit of what Paranormal Activity 3 did when it had like the tripod and it kept going back forth, and like eventually we got something that scared us. And I feel like in this movie it really didn't tackle that, and I really wish it did. But when it comes to the final act, I agree with that. That's when it definitely picked up, and it was a lot of fun. And it actually honestly felt like I was in a haunted house for some reason. Like I was just like following the camera, like all these rooms doing these crazy things trying to scare you. And I thought it was very effective. It definitely made you think of like the ending. What was your interpretation of what happened? We'll get to that point here eventually. Like you say, we're going to get to it. But like I thought also it was very effective. And I think that's also too that final scene, because everything for my day was a great day. And then after that ending, where my weird little mood happened, it's all because of this damn movie. It set the tone, as you can say.
Yeah. And before we get to Tyler and Roscoe, I just want to quickly touch on what you guys said. In reference to Skinamarink, I definitely got that same vibe as far as like not only were they heavily playing with your auditory senses, they do kind of mess with your expectations and the way that they were framing the shots and these dark doorways and how the doorway's centered. The main character, she's, off to the right, but we're supposed to be focused on her because the background's blurred. But us as horror fans, we have this expectation in our mind that like a jump scare is coming. Something's going to slowly phase out of that doorway, out of the darkness, Michael Myers style, if you will. And it kind of just never happened. I genuinely was sitting there. I have it in my notes. At one point I wrote it down, like, well, is something ever going to come out? Like, I'm starting to get over it a little bit, but it definitely does have you kind of honing in on that dark space, which then I think also helps with when you put so much focus into one of your senses, it kind of takes away your attention from your others. So we're listening to all these audio tapes and really having to focus in on these things when they're telling us like, oh, did you hear that? And so then we're, as the audience, also trying to pick up on those things and hear what the characters are hearing. And then they're also playing with you visually, because like while we're trying to really focus in, horror fans, we're sitting there, okay, like this is going to be the moment where something happens, where something jumps out. And then it kind of just never did. I like that, like tug, the give and pull aspect. But I'm inclined to agree that by the end of it, I feel like they really didn't do enough with it. But yes, now on to Tyler and Roscoe. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts.
I feel like, okay, so when I am in a theater in general, only for horror movies, like if it is something that is crazy overwhelming to do with audio, like I get super overstimulated. That's like the only thing that overstimulates me in a theater, like to the point where I'm like palms are sweaty. Like I'm like, okay, like am I about to like freak out right now? Like I got to that point like a couple different times in the movie, but then like we're like all of you have been saying, it's like I kept waiting and waiting and waiting to the point where I was like, well, okay, I guess we're not freaking out here. And then like we'll get to this too, but like there's a very specific moment towards the last, I don't know, like 40-ish minutes of the movie probably, that totally took me out of the movie. Like I thought it really messed with the pacing because I went from being really, really creeped out and like invested in everything, and then it was like a light switch moment. And again, we'll get there, but like I did think that it was a cool overall experience in the sense of like I don't really remember the last time audio really played like a major factor for me in a movie. Like there were certain things that sort of reminded me of the end. I know people have thoughts about the like 2016, I think, version of Blair Witch, 2015, 2016, whenever that was. The last part of that movie was a little similar, in my opinion, to like it was crazy, overwhelming audio to the point where like, but you saw things in that movie. So I don't know, very, very different. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with like what you said, and definitely it got to the point for me that I think I was scaring myself more than the movie was scaring me, because I was like, something's gonna jump out. I just saw something move. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out right now. And then nothing would happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I did still like it. So that wasn't like a negative thing. But I think it was just kind of like the pacing, and it was so up and down that I think I got to the point that I was like, oh, this movie isn't going to scare me.
I wrote down in my notes that to a certain point, it started to feel like watching Undertone is like listening to, watching Undertone is like watching somebody listen to Paranormal Activity, which has already been referenced in the stream so far. But that is really what it started to feel like as far as like the relationship between the two characters that were in the tapes. And ironically, I think I read something where the director of this movie is supposed to be doing the next Paranormal Activity. So I don't know if that's fact or fiction, but I just thought that was kind of ironic given, the vibes and the style of this movie. But yeah, I mean, I like the audio thing. I don't know if any of you guys watched my non-spoiler review for this. Not offended if you didn't, maybe a little, but
Well, I just didn't want to copy your answers, like kind of like how you didn't watch ours. So
no, yeah, I'm just messing. But the audio, like, I'm like a self-trained audio engineer, I guess. I've been making music since I was 16. So when it comes to audio and like really listening into the details, and like I say this word in my reviews sometimes, I call it soundscape. I don't know if that's a real term. It just sounds right, so I say it. Okay, but like the panning, the stereo with the audio isn't just left and right. It can be front and back. It can be like inside or outside. It's just so weird. It's audio is so weird. The way that you can hear certain things. I mean, even with like AirPods and stuff, you can hear certain things, and there's settings in our phone where you can like turn and like your audio will shift because it knows that you're like moving with your AirPods and stuff. It's really interesting. So not only being somebody who self-taught engineer, whatever, works like on audio things often, but also creates content. It was fun watching this movie as somebody who makes content, watching somebody else make their content, and like how they like are snapping in and out of characters. And even from that side of things, I'm kind of like, I'm studying, I'm taking notes, like, okay, this is how someone with experience does it, and it's like implementing it into the way that I try to do my content and the way I try to express myself and put myself out there. But yes, sorry, the most fascinating thing about it was the audio and just how it, like, I went and saw it in the I think it's called Dolby Atmos or whatever with AMC. And so it's like their heightened experience with the audio and whatnot. And yeah, it is like Tyler said, I don't remember the last time a movie played such an important role, or I'm sorry, when audio played such an important role in really any movie that like that I've seen in theaters. At least I'm trying to think of anything, but I really can't. And especially when it comes to like the goosebumps and everything I was referencing earlier with the physical reactions I was having, it was just a different experience. I wasn't blinded by what I was watching. I definitely knew like, okay, there are things that like I kind of want to happen and they're not happening. I'm keeping an open mind about it. So I wasn't like gonna gas the movie up by no means, but at the same time, I genuinely was like, okay, this is just a different experience. Like I go to the theater at least 3 times a week. I'm seeing movies often. This is different from the last 15 movies I've seen. And I feel like that's why even though I know like people are making jokes in the chat calling it underwhelming instead of undertone or whatever, and I get it. And once we get closer to talking about the ending, I'll express more of my feelings on that. But I definitely understand why people would say that. But to me, it's still a movie that gives an experience that I can't really get from anything else off the top of my head. So I still came out of the theater thoroughly enjoying it. There's Brett, you had mentioned earlier, you were talking about the visuals and like the camera angles and stuff. So I wanted to ask you guys about if there was any particular scene, the way it's framed, or I don't know, just maybe it's something that they're playing with in the background, any sort of like camera work or anything that is in your guys' head that stuck out the most. I want to ask you guys about that, and then just hear your guys' thoughts on those. So we haven't started with Tyler and Roscoe yet, so I'm going to start with them, and then we'll go to Brett and then Destiny.
Okay. There were a few moments where, like, we talked about this after the movie last night, where there would be something behind her in the background that would, I don't know if it was like my brain playing tricks or if it was like intentional in the movie, like where it would look like, I don't know, like an outline of something that was like very slowly being like just the slightest bit brighter, and then it would like disappear. Or I was like, am I doing that in my head? I don't know. Like, but
I saw
like,
it too. So
yeah, okay. Like, and then
yeah.
there were things that like when she would be sitting at the podcast, well, at the table that she listened to everything at, where like in the, I don't know, a cupboard or whatever you would call that behind her, like where I think it was just a normal object, but like it would look like something else. And maybe again, that was my brain, I don't know, filling in the blank. But like other than that, though, like I sort of liked how the camera would like it started in the credits, like when the U and N and Undertone like moved sideways. Then like the camera kept doing that throughout. I didn't. Neither of us loved that. Like I got it. Like it was. I don't know. It was something new and different. But like I just Like I wasn't sure like because everything else felt so real.
Yeah.
And like you didn't feel. I don't know. You didn't really feel like something was like watching her just based on the camera movement. Like it was like minus the one moment where we fly down the stairs. Like that was a cool shot. That was very like Evil Dead ish. But that I don't know. Like not a whole lot stood out to me. I wouldn't say like as far as camera work. Like it was a cool looking movie, but not. I don't know. I wouldn't like that. Wouldn't be the one thing I like pulled from the movie. Like oh, like that was a really crazy shot movie. Like I don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, something I noticed in the movie, because we saw it with one of our friends last night, and I brought it up, and I'm gonna try to figure out how to explain this. So the picture of Mary above her mother's bed, and it zoomed in on the one cherub, and its face was really like distorted and blurry, like you couldn't see the details. There's a shot where when she was recording the podcast, the picture of the Last Supper above her there was a reflection of like the light bulb at the top of the table. And the face of the blurry cherub was the 3 light bulbs. So that part really stood out to me. I liked that part a lot.
And I love that answer too, because like I'm gonna be honest, I make videos and I like review movies and stuff, but I really don't know shit. And like I also miss a lot of stuff. I am the worst at like I think I get hyper focused on the things that I like. So then I get to have these discussions now with these people with y'all and different people in our community and stuff where people just pick up on different things. Or if I go see a movie with Olivia, she catches things that I have no idea what she's talking about because I'm just looking for the gore. And she's like, well, what about this message or this thing? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess that was part of the experience, too. But
I'm the exact same with him.
Yeah. It's
I'm like Olivia in that sense.
Yeah.
it's a rough way to live, but whatever. Anywho, Brett, I don't know what the order I said. We'll just go to Brett and then go to Destiny.
Okay, and yeah, again, there was shots in this movie that like really impressed me too. But like towards the end, I think it was referenced already. Like it's just where the camera was like sideways and all that. And I'm like, okay, we could have maybe gone without that. They were trying. That was one of those instances where I think they're trying to be a little too fancy with the camera. Which to me, I'm one of those playing in simple. It's always very effective, and they should just kept it there and then just zoomed in at the door. Like this is like towards the end of the movie what I'm talking about. But one of the ones that also stands out to me is the scene where the main character was checking on her mom, and then the light, like the closet light turned on. I'm like, oh, okay, finally, something's getting ready to happen. As she's getting closer to the door, her mother in the background just does like this little Undertaker sit up. And I'm like, yes, please, let's do it. This is it. This is where I'm getting creeped out. And then all of a sudden,
yeah,
just nothing happened. And I'm like, fuck. Like, but like that was one of the ones that I felt like the most praised in the movie, like from a camera aspect, like they blurry in the background too, so it's like we don't know necessarily what she's doing, and because they're trying to get us to mainly focus on the main character without focusing on the background. I feel like that's what this movie is trying to make you challenge you to do. It's like what your sense is and what you notice when a camera is focusing on something, whether it be a dark corner. Do you really think you see something in that corner, or is that like your mind? And I give it a lot of praise but what this movie did, but I feel like maybe if we had a better story behind it, those little kind of couple of scenes could really enhance itself, especially that scene I talked about with kind of like with the mother just doing like the little race. Like, oh, right, here we go. And then unfortunately, we didn't get nothing out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And after I let Destiny give her answer, we will get more into the details of the story and really start breaking that down and what we think they could have like done better, what we liked about it, so on and so forth. But before that, Destiny, go ahead with your answer.
Well, Brett just kind of took mine. But I was also going to mention all the stuff with the mother, because there's a few scenes where it was happening in the background, or you would see something happening in like the mirror with the mom, and then it would turn around and she'd be normal. I thought that was really cool. Granted, I really don't know what that had to do necessarily with the movie itself, like the story that they were saying.
Yeah.
Besides it just like adding some creepiness to it. And I know there's like religious tones with the mom and stuff like that and everything. So I mean, but her in this like kind of comatose state, but then like being up for some of it or whatever. But I like those scenes. I thought that was cool. Again, I kind of like the scenes where the camera started to move around a little bit, but we're not really focused on like anything in particular. I will say something absolutely crazy to me was her recording this stuff like late at night or like 3 a.m. with her back to the like the entryway. I thought that was absolutely insane. And then you do see like in like the next scene, she's back the other, like flipped. I think the right way is where you should sit when you're doing something like that. She's a lot braver than like I ever would be. But yeah, I thought that was crazy. But all the stuff with the mom, I like the way it was framed, even though I don't know really what it did for the story itself.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I will save my thoughts specifically on that when we kind of talk about the ending, because I want to get everyone's like interpretation on what the ending was. Because I mean, I'm a little confused. I'll be honest. I could be stupid, but we'll see if anyone can enlighten me at least. But something else I wrote down in my notes while I was watching it. This movie did a really good job making you feel isolated to the one character, or the two characters, I guess, if you consider or if you take into consideration the mother. Kind of the same way Good Boy does, where you're introduced to other characters, but like in Good Boy, you see them visually, but you don't see their faces, so you don't ever really connect with them. And then in this film, the only two characters you visually see is Evie, and you see her mother. Other than that, we're introduced to her boyfriend, her podcast partner, the doctor, the nurse, the in-home nurse that comes and helps, but you never see them. So for me, that really amplified the feeling of isolation that maybe Evie was feeling. And they kind of touch on it when she's talking to her boyfriend, and he's saying, you've been in that house for weeks, come out for just a little bit. And, so I really enjoyed that aspect, that isolation feeling. I don't know if like that had an impression on the rest of you the way that it did for me, but that mixed with the auditory mindfuck that this movie is, I think those were probably the two biggest things that really drew me in and had an effect on me. The story, I think it was Brett who had mentioned the story is kind of weak. I think I'm inclined to agree. I think the concept is a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of emotion in it as well. Towards the end, I really did start to feel, I guess, emotional. My heartstrings were being tugged a little bit, just when she was talking about her mom and whatnot, and kind of seeing this battle she has where she's trying to take care of her. She's not really like doing anything else with her life. She has guilt, obviously, and that's kind of revealed at the very end. But I feel like there was two different stories being told at the same time, and then when they were supposed to come together, I don't know if, again, I just was missing something, or if they didn't do a good job connecting them together. But I didn't really fully grasp kind of, I think Destiny had said it, what the mom had to do with the story, and the mom like doing weird things and moving the Virgin Mary statue around and just all of those things. So I'm just gonna like blanket question, and whoever wants to speak up can take it. Did you
Yeah,
guys
so
see? Did you guys see like any? You're fine. Did you guys see any details or anything that made the two stories connect together and it makes sense, or does it? Because to me, it kind of feels like they had a structure for a really good idea, and they had like really cool details here and there, but ultimately I just don't feel like they were able to kind of mesh the two stories being told together in the end. So I kind of would like to hear your guys' thoughts, and if maybe you can enlighten me on some details that maybe I missed or I'm just not thinking of. And I'll hand it off to Roscoe, since he obviously had something to say, and I would love to hear it. So
yeah, something I picked up on, I don't remember which tape it was on, but the girlfriend said something like, I woke up and you weren't next to me and something was mimicking you, and then it started mimicking me. So I think whatever that was eventually started mimicking the main character's mom.
okay.
So I think towards the end, it wasn't actually the mom.
Mhm.
I think maybe like once the mom like fell out of the bed, that like from there on, it wasn't actually her.
Got you. So you're saying that the mother had basically passed on by that point, but something had taken over her
Yeah.
body at that point? Okay.
Yeah.
See,
Or
Yeah,
like
like
was just
possession.
yeah.
possession? Okay.
Yeah, or
And-
just like completely mimicking. So like a
Mm,
whole nother entity or like
entity.
being.
Oh, that's interesting. See, this is what I'm talking about. I didn't even think about that whatsoever. And again, I might be showing my IQ here, but I missed it. So, Brett, Destiny, do you guys have anything to add to that? Was there something else that stuck out to you that kind of tied those two stories together and made it make sense? Or
Well, I mean, like, I feel like there's like I can't fully like fit it together, but I mean, it was like Mary, right? Like that was a statue.
yes,
Mhm.
I
So
believe
like
so.
Mary, she has she has a baby, right? And then our main character, pregnant. The whole this is I guess like spoiler territory. The
Oh,
whole
well,
thing,
yeah.
obviously, with this demon is like taking baby, or like even with like the nursery rhymes, it's like children like going after like the adults, or like there's corruption with like these adults, and then her with her mom. So like I feel like there are like traces of everything kind of going together, just with like motherhood, um obviously the demon snatching up babies, and like miscarriages and whatnot, like all this, like there's stuff that does go together, I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if it fully fits. But I can feel like there's like, traces of everything kind of trying to be together. I just don't know if they fully pulled it off, or maybe like I'm the same way, Keelan. Maybe I'm just like not smart enough to like understand what's going on, because I can see all these aspects kind of there. I just don't know if they were fully fleshed out enough to me to walk away and be like, I totally got that. Which is
Mhm.
fine. Like I love David Lynch. A lot of David Lynch's stuff isn't like that, where it's like, this is exactly what it is. Some of it you do have to kind of put it together yourself. So I don't mind that. It's just with this type of movie, I wasn't expecting that going into it. And I do think the ending, the more I think about it, might not be super clear, but we do see stuff that happens before the end that I think is what the ending is. It's just before. So I mean, I do think there's some aspects that checks out. I just don't know if I fully get it. Oh
Well,
my god. During
I
this
don't.
movie, oh, they're back.
Oh, we're
Never
back.
mind.
And we back. And
Wait.
we back. And we back. Sorry, Chance
Brett,
the Rapper.
What?
Oh my gosh.
thoughts, comments, concerns?
No, you pretty much took everything there, Des, but that's good because like I will always say I've said it a couple of strings that I'm not the smartest movie like thinker and all that. Like I'm just like a casual person, and like I just sit there to have fun, and then I'll try to do all the hard hitting like thinking like afterwards, and kind of like just trying to find the hidden meanings of everything. And like everyone's just saying, it's like I think there's something there, but I think it just needed to be cleaned up where it was just told in a simpler way.
Mhm.
And all that. So like I felt like we like an example of that is like I think we could have got a couple of scenes where like they do like a flashback of where our main character Evie was like a child and her mother was kind of like acting weird or all that, so it could all kind of like be connected in some way.
Mm.
But it's just some of those simple things just to clean up the story. But no, most of what everybody said is kind of like what I was agreeing with. So I have not much to add into it, but I just felt like we could easily clean up the story a little bit for the casual horror viewer. Kind of like myself. Like I'm just a casual guy, so simpler the better with me.
Gotcha. And Davey had mentioned something in the chat here. I'm inclined to agree. I do have in my notes, fuck her for drinking while pregnant. We
I was
it
like,
just
ugh.
you find it listen, you find out you're pregnant and like one of the first things you do is dive into the bottle. Now, obviously, they touch on the fact that she obviously had some alcoholism issues going on in the past, and she's also dealing with a high amount of stress with trying to take care of her mom and all of that. So, when it comes to addictions and you're under a lot of stress, I could see why somebody might fall back into bad habits. But on the other hand, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. That I wrote it down in my notes as I was watching. I was like, that just makes me so mad. And what he said was, if they wanted me to root for her, maybe she wouldn't have done that. I am inclined to agree. It just that doesn't feel good. It just doesn't feel good. Whatever you're gonna do it before consuming the alcohol is all I'm gonna say. But
Well, I actually thought of something here too, because she was drinking in the movie. And as you said, Keelan, she was absolutely stressed. And also too, she was taking some kind of medication as well. So it's kind of like, in a way, like combining all three of those things. Do you think that possibly it's all in her head? Like, just like combined with the stress, the alcoholism, the particular medicine, which we don't know what necessary medicine she's taking. I might overstress this, but it's just maybe just an idea to put out there. Do you think maybe it's just her, just all on her for some reason?
That's an interesting idea that I had not even thought about. So it could be. I personally did not get the vibe that that's kind of where they were going. But if you want to add that little wrinkle to the movie, that just adds to the. It just adds to the details of the story. I don't know what's going on with them. I'm just trying to let them figure it out. But
the demon got them.
Maybe I'm a piece of shit, because if I found I was pregnant, the first thing I would do is like, oh God, I need a drink. Because it is stressful. She obviously was not planning on getting pregnant, which is a hard thing to deal with, even if you want to get pregnant. Regardless, it's a hard thing to deal with. Her mom is literally dying. She's having to clean the shit off of her mom.
Yeah.
Okay. Like you said, she's isolated. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit there. And also, women literally used to drink all the time while being pregnant and smoke. So, if the girl wants one drink, let her have it.
Yeah, and two things to add on to that too. The first thing being that at least she got like an Irish drink too. So very props to her. Like, as we get coming in closer to St. Patrick's Day, she brought out an Irish drink. So good on her for that. And then like, damn, the second idea just left my head. So it might come back to me. So get back to me on that one. But oh no, and here's I remember it. Like, ain't it like the early stages where like. No, Ash. Okay, no. Sorry, I finally got my idea. Sorry, it took me a minute there to get there. She was also having relationship issues with her boyfriend as well, too. So the add-on pregnancy and already in a troubled relationship adds another layer of stress into her life of taking care of her mother, trying to run a successful podcast. So yeah, definitely stress is like one of those hidden themes into this movie of like it can really affect an individual. Maybe not like from a demon perspective, but just like on a personal perspective as well, just depending on who you are and how you interpret that situation.
Oh yeah, like I don't know, like my grandma, she had cancer and she was really sick, and like she was literally dying, and we're watching it happen, and there's nothing for you to do. And I was like 15 at the time, and none of it was on me other than emotional feelings. But if I was at least a little bit older, I guarantee you I would have been drinking. Pregnant or not pregnant, I definitely would have. Just dealing with anything that is that emotional, and then finding out something is life-changing is happening to you that you didn't even want to happen. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and be like, you're horrible because you had a drink. I think that's just, come on, give her some leeway.
Yeah. And sorry, I was. Damn, I lost my thought again. Sorry about that.
It's all good. Sorry, I was trying to see what happened with Tyler and Roscoe, but don't know. Hope they're doing okay.
Hopefully they didn't open the 10th file.
Possibly. I don't know. I'm sure I'll hear back from him at some point, but Well, I guess we can go ahead and touch on the ending of the movie then. Oh, there they are.
Oh, thank God. We
Our
all thought you
Wi-Fi
opened
is,
the
like,
10
crazy
file.
right now. Okay,
No,
we're back.
We're back.
We've
It's
been
all
listening to
good.
what you were saying still.
Yeah, I was going
I
to say,
gotcha.
don't open any files. Like,
We did not, in fact, die.
Yay.
Thankful for that. So what Ashton said, whatever happened, Brett did it.
God, I'm always the easy guy to blame. What the hell? Like, hey, it's okay. I got good under the bus insurance, like for work and for my personal life, so I'm fully insured. But
Good to know.
Diabolical.
I'm telling you, if my iPad's missing, I'm coming after you. This was your idea. Like,
I have my own iPad, but I could use a second one.
mm-hmm. And and it's really awesome so far. But anyways, well, out of order. But
Right.
I know. Sorry, Keelan.
No, you're fine. I guess before we go into talking more about the ending and overall how we felt about it, was there anything else that anybody felt strongly about that stood out to them, or that maybe I just haven't touched on that you guys feel really passionate about and want to end up talking about before we kind of get to that? Yeah, Brett,
Actually,
we can
I
start with
do.
you.
Like the Justin character, because I feel like at times like we kind of felt like as an audience member that we're possibly in Justin's shoes about, okay, we're definitely messing with this, and as we are been saying, an entity, like we need to go ahead and stop. I think most of us logically would just be at the point like, yeah, I don't care about the 8 file, 9 file, 10 file, we're good, like we get it, things are creepy, but my life is not, I'm not going to put like my life safety over some podcast. Like, I'm sorry, like we'll just cancel the podcast on general before I open any like books from a garbage bag, like Evil Dead, or just a podcast, and we're just going to raise some freaking baby killing creature, which again, I like the story. I will say this, that is an interesting story. I always like where it's not just a same old possession story or same old demon story. Like, I've never heard of like this woman like just being so just jealous of other women getting pregnant, and her just either killing them while they're pregnant or just killing their child, and then just there when they get put to death, that their evil spirit lives on, and that's how we pretty much got this whole movie. I like the idea. It's just definitely something unique and different. I will give this movie praise for it. Again,
Mhm.
can we maybe do a little bit better execution of the idea with stronger characters and stronger writing of the story? Absolutely, but I will always give credit for a good attempt.
Very well said. And I'm glad that you touched on that because it's not something that I even had in my mind. So I can always look to you, Brett, to bring up something that's not in my brain because I'm not as smart as you. And I'm also not as in tune with things that going on with the movies. I just like gory shit, guys. I like shit that makes me scared. I like stabby. I like a little bit of feelings, a little bit of emotion too. But for the
Keelan,
most
I'm going
part,
to tell you this, though. If you could say that Shardy Vision is Australian, you're way smarter than me. I'll just tell you that right now. So if you know she's Australian, you're way smarter than me because I thought she was Austrian at one point in my life. So
I don't even know who you're talking about. So I guess put me wherever that is on the totem pole. I've no clue.
This lovely chick right over here.
Oh, the girl from You're Next?
Yep. Shardy
Isn't
Vision.
She's in a movie coming out soon, isn't she?
That I have not heard of. I just know one of her things is like some superhero like series, and that she's like a dance judge. That's all I know that she's doing.
No idea. I don't even I didn't even know her by name, so I obviously could not tell you that. She does give in Your Next, she does give Australian, I will say. Oh, she just
Because she is Australian. That's what the
Makes
funny
sense.
part is, but
makes sense. So, let me just scroll through my notes real quick. No, I wrote about that dark doorway being focused on like 4 times. I must have been really obsessed with it, but we I know, and that nothing even happened. So let's go ahead and talk about the ending and the culmination of everything that went on and like how we felt about it. If I may inject my own thoughts and feelings for just a brief moment. I really felt like I was riding high on this movie. I was, they kept, again, we were talking about that push and pull. They kept dragging us into that dark doorway, into I think Destiny had talked about it earlier, the doorway kind of leading into her kitchen, and things looked like they were moving, or it looked like it was something that could have possibly moved, but ended up not being a thing. I don't know who said it. It was probably somebody. It was definitely one of you 4, but
Had to have been.
had to have. But I just liked how much they were playing with like my auditory senses, the visuals, the assuming things were going to happen or questioning if I was seeing things in the darkness. And so like coming up to the end of the tapes, and obviously by this point, my impression was that at some point the people in the tapes had already lived in the house that she was in. That I don't know if that's kind of what they were saying specifically, or if they were just like trying to say that maybe was the case, because the person that called into the podcast had said like they knew them and they lived like nearby, and she tried to find out where, like what house they lived in, and the phone call cut off. So to me, it's like they're kind of hinting towards possibly they had lived in that house at one point, or at least like in the area. And I thought all of that was really intriguing, and I was hoping for like this big climax where like, but it paid off. And to me, by the end of it, I felt like, okay, last 15 minutes, let's ramp up. We're going to make the fucking camera move fast. We're going to make the lights flicker. We're going to make shit finally pop out the dark, and we're going to make her scream. And it's going to be scary, and everyone's going to be like, oh shit, scariest movie of the year. And then that all happened. The movie ended, and I literally like sat up and looked around, and everybody in my theater is like looking around at everybody else trying to see what the impression was. And I felt edged. I'm just gonna say it that way, okay? I felt edged. I felt like we were building up to this great moment, and then like, I don't know, Herbert the pervert from the Star Wars special and Family Guy, the saber just dropped, and like nothing happened. And I don't know, it kind of like killed my excitement in the end. I really just like felt like we were climbing, and then we got what we got. And I felt like it kind of shit the bed in the end. So I would like to ask all of you if that's the same impression that you guys had, as well as, do you guys also think that they were alluding to the fact that maybe the couple in the tapes had lived in the house prior that she was in, or did I just like make that up? I don't know. You guys give me clarification so I can understand Undertone better. That's what I'm looking for. So, I don't know. First person to raise their hand can go first. Okay, boom. Let's go with Tyler.
So I didn't really think too much about like if they had lived in the house or not. Like I feel like that would make total sense. For me, like I wrote down earlier, like that. So the whole movie in general to me sort of reminded me of how I felt after watching Shelby Oaks. If anybody else watched Shelby Oaks, like
Yeah.
it was like I enjoyed the ride like throughout the movie, but then like I will say like Shelby Oaks like did make a little more like concrete sense. Like it was kind of like, I don't know, like thrown in your face at the very end, very abruptly. But like it was just sort of the same situation for me. Like I was like, I'm not sure I fully got. I'm like, how did we get to this point? Like the very final shot of her. Spoiler alert! This is a spoiler video. Like the very final shot of the mom in the doorway coming at her or whatever. That was, I don't know, that sort of made me. It took me back to the end of Shelby Oaks with the demon, whatever the demon's name was in that movie. I don't know. Like I just felt like it was trying to do too much for me. Like, and I did enjoy the movie. Like, don't get me wrong. I still thought it was a fun movie. I'm glad we saw it in a theater because I feel like at home, if we had watched this at home, it was definitely like giving like Shudder original to me. Like you could have told me this was a Shudder original, I would have believed you. Like,
Yeah.
this didn't really feel like A24 in the same sense of like Hereditary and Midsummer and like things like that. Like, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like I liked the movie a lot up until the last like 10 to 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of like, once like everything started going like crazy with the lights and still nothing was happening, I was just kind of like, all right, let's wrap this up. And like my personal opinion, and I know like a lot of people don't agree with me on this, is if a horror movie, the villain or demon, whatever, is an old person, I instantly am like, that's not scary. I'll kick a hoe in the hip. Like, you know, like, so that also took me out of it just because I think I was like expecting more. And I think I was also, I read a lot of reviews that were like, it's so crazy, it's so loud, it's a sensory nightmare, like all this stuff. And I was like, I wanted more from it, I think. So I think I definitely just got too hyped for the end from everything that I read. And just, like you said, I was like edged. Like nothing
Yeah.
Okay, here's one very specific niche thing that like so we talked about it to our friend that we saw the movie with last night. I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but okay, what was killing me is the sound effect of the baby crying. It was that same generic ass stock sound effect that's in like every movie from like 2002 till now. It's like I was like, that's the only baby crying you could find. Like, you know, it ends in like I don't know, like it goes like a higher note. It took me fully out of it. Did you catch that? Am I crazy?
I'm too young to know these things, so I'll let Brett answer respectfully.
Well,
Sorry.
Are you calling me old? Like,
I'm calling you older than me.
I know I turned 30. I turned 36 next month. Like, but damn, okay. But,
older than I am.
Oh, that was actually so funny.
I don't even know where to go anymore. Damn, I'm not sure what I'm more starstruck, that or the ending of this movie. Here. Okay, so let's just say it on this. Okay, the best, like what you said, Tyler and Roscoe, is just the ride. Like you enjoy the ride. I enjoyed the ride too, but you know how we're on the ride and you just go up, and you're just ready for an epic drop and the twirls and all that, the loop-de-loops and all that. That's what I was waiting for in this final act, and I felt like we were really get there, and all of a sudden, it was just like a small little kids ride, little drop.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's not that very exciting. I was like, all right, we're getting ready to get into the great part. And it was just nothing. I was just kind of sit there at the end of the movie. I'm like, okay, what happened? Keelan, to go what you were saying earlier about like if I thought about the two people from the audio and all that, like I believe their names are Mark and Jess or Jesse, or Jesse, Jessica,
I think
or however
Jess.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jess to me sounds like a cooler name. Plus, I have a friend that's named Jess too. Yeah, so I feel like everything that came to be scary came from them versus just came from like the mother or from her personally, because I felt like I know more about them, but I almost know more about the main character, so I was more invested in them. So it could, like, in a way, it's like a Paranormal Activity movie. I kind of rather know what fully went on with them, but like them being inside Evie's house, that's where the originality like happened. I think it was implied, but I was just confused the whole time. Or it never really crossed my mind until you said something about it. And that, because in my brain, it's like maybe that happened. But like I said earlier, I did like this final act to a certain point where I felt like I was in a haunted house where like there's people in the background just breaking the light bulbs, or just like the windows flapping and all that, or just the lights flickering. It's like you're in a haunted house. I'm like, okay, this is cool because I've had personal experiences. This is fun. This is a good idea. And then when we get to the camera turning and all that, I'm like, all right, here we go. We're about to force some stuff at this absolutely not to be needed. And it's just going to sadly disappoint with the ending. Unfortunately, it absolutely did. And I was like you, I was like looking around the theater too, and I was like, all right, what's your reaction? And no one really reacted. I'm like, come on, guys, somebody's got to react to this damn movie. So I'm not sure if I'm crazy, if I really like that last, or like the very last like little clip or not. So just at the end of the day, though, like I like the whole idea of the third act, but it's just like, again, that high roller coaster just for a tiny little drop. And it was just unfortunately a little disappointing, especially for an A24 film where they're definitely known for really good endings.
You know what part? Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say okay, so like what I was talking about in the beginning of our stream tonight was like the part that kind of took me out of it in the final act was
I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, so like we got through the first 7 clips. I think it was the first 7. And then we had her moment where she was doing her meditation with her AirPods. And I was like, whoa, this is a shift. Like this is a shift in tone and like feel. I was like, okay, are we about to like have a totally new feel for the rest of the movie? And then she has like the nightmare where the meditation turns demonic. And to me, it just never got back to what it felt like those first 7 clips. Like I was like, oh wait, that wasn't a scary scene. Like the nightmare scene, I think it was meant to be like a little bit of just a moment of relief to like, since it was super intense leading up to that. But I think for me, that kind of like changed the rest of the movie for me. I was like, oh, it's either about to get insane after this, and that's why they did it, but it didn't do that. So like I was just like, okay. But I don't know. To me, it made me feel like it was like it just cheapened it a little for me. Because if they had kept that momentum going, like, okay, go to clip 8 now, I think the movie would have been like the overstimulation I was talking about at the very beginning of this.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, the only movie that I can think of in recent time that I've went and saw in the theater that gave me that overstimulated feeling when it comes to crazy visuals. Actually, I can think of 2 now that I'm really thinking about it. Crazy visuals mixed with like the audio in this movie is obviously very unique. So I can't really say a movie that has the exact same effect, but 2 that come to my mind that had a really strong auditory attack that I saw recently. The Rule of Jenny Penn. Olivia did not like that one. She hated it. There was a lot of loud screeching and a lot of chaos in your ears. And then Infinity Pool also had a lot of scenes where there's a lot of chaos visually, but it was met with a lot of auditory chaos that really like ended up having an effect on me. I'm not bothered by a lot of things in horror movies, but when it comes to like loud audio doing some crazy shit, at some point that really does start to spike my anxiety, and it really gets me. I'm gonna get Destiny's answer, but before I do that, I just wanted to touch on what you were talking about, Brett. The reason why I got the impression that they had lived in the house at some point it's towards like the later tapes. I don't remember what was being said, but the fact that the camera was panning to different areas of her house, as if we're supposed to visualize them being in those spots in the house while these things are happening. And I don't know if that's what they were actually trying to tell us, like without showing them physically being there.
Oh, are you kind of like talking about like just like when you hear like in the audio tapes of them going down the stairs and then the camera shows the stairs like them legitimately going, you know what? That makes all the sense in the world right there. Like, it finally clicked for me of what you're talking about. I think you're actually spot on now.
Yeah, there was scenes like the stairs. There was also scenes where she was in the living room where like they were arguing about something in the tapes. and then like the camera pans to like the living room space with the the TV was there and whatnot, and that's why I got the impression that they were insinuating that they lived in the house. And then very briefly on what Tyler was saying, I do think I agree. The meditation scene, it started to get like they were playing footsie. Like there was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They're either trying to tell us this style of a movie with this sort of story, and they're going to use these sort of scares and build this sort of tension. And then that scene happens where it becomes a lot more visual rather than like insinuated or them trying to play tricks on you. It was a lot more blatant, kind of like Shelby Oaks when it shows the demon at the end. A lot of things are a lot more implied in Shelby Oaks up until they just showed the demon straight up. And then it's like, that's uncanny a little bit. It kind of feels out of place. What are we doing here? So I definitely agree with what you're saying about that scene. It did feel slightly out of place, a little out of pocket. But yes, okay. Destiny, the spotlight is on you. The floor is yours. I would love to hear what you have to say.
Well, just to echo a little bit of what y'all said, I also felt edged because it was the same thing. It had this really kind of like intense build up for like the last 15 minutes, and then it just ended, which I know they showed like the scenes because like we're meant to like it's implied that everything that happened in those tapes is also what's happening here. And we do see like the writing on the walls, and we do have that scene of her when like she assume like she falls down the stairs and she like has her hand and there's blood. So we're like meant to assume that the demon did take her baby. Like this all did happen to her. But the way it's cut and ends, that's not the ending that we see. So I mean that's what I take it as if everything that has happened in these tapes is exactly what plays out with her. I hold on.
Oh, I was like, do you see the demon?
Just me.
Yeah, I was like, I just love the fact that we have not said the demon's name yet throughout the entirety of the stream, and that is very smart. So let's just keep that up.
I can't even
Anyways.
remember.
We couldn't remember. We couldn't remember.
I
I
have no
don't-
fucking
okay.
clue.
I don't either. All I know is what it starts with, and it's only because there's this girl that I don't like, and her name is said in the movie, and it starts with an A. And it was really funny because I was going to make a joke to Brayden when we got out of it, and then they literally say the name in the movie, Abby, whenever they're on, which is, by the way, so fucking stupid. I was like, dude, y'all cannot actually be this dumb. Like, it's clearly, it's Ab something, because all I can think of is Abaddon from Hell House, because it's like the same thing. So I was literally going to make a joke to Brayden when we got out of the movie, and then they do it themselves in the movie. So I was like, I'm a genius, I guess. I don't know. I just called that before it even happened. So it's A-B something, but
ABYZOU. So I didn't say it. I just spelled it.
Abazu.
No,
I said it.
Of course.
We're
Abazu.
screwed. We're
Okay.
fucked.
Whatever.
Course.
It's not like
And you're
Bloody
all gonna
Mary.
blame, and you're all gonna blame me, so it's okay.
It's not Bloody Mary. It's if you play the tapes, which no one sent any files, and I'm not opening up shit, so that's fine. We're fine.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Abazu. That's anyways. So yeah, just like everything y'all said. I was enjoying it for the most part. I didn't think it was like I did get unsettled. I did have feelings of like uncomfortableness and the same thing. I kind of had like goosebumps. I was like, "Ooh, this is like spooky." And then the build up to it, I was like, "All right, some crazy shit's about to happen." And not to say that it doesn't, but the way it ends, I was like, and, earlier I was saying like, "Oh, it was a quick movie, hour 30." It could have used some more time. It could have used a little bit more, fleshing out. I don't really mind sometimes when things are ambiguous. I just don't think this was the movie for that. But like I said, we did see some stuff that I guess you're just meant to believe this is what happens like after that final scene that we see, like with her falling down the stairs and with the blood and everything. But yeah, I didn't like the way it ended. I think if the ending was a little bit more like, here you go. And it's like sometimes I feel like movies like they like spoon feed you too much. And this one I was like, all right, y'all could have given us like just a little bit more. But yeah. Overall, like I left kind of the same way. I felt a little bit underwhelmed, even though I didn't really know anything about this movie going into it. I didn't know it was like paranormal. I didn't know it was demon. I didn't know anything. I still left like, well, I'm glad I didn't try to overhype it for myself, or else I would have walked out very disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think I alluded to that earlier on in the stream too, is like because I really didn't have expectations. And because of that, you know, what I ended up getting, I was like, okay, this is like something different. This is something fun and new. And like overall, I feel like I think we all maybe can say overall, this is a really good movie. It's a lot of fun. It has its own style. It's unique. It does its own thing. It's just like one of those movies where it's like, oh, you know, like the ending is really just where most people's issues are probably going to stem from. But I think, as you know, we kind of touched on earlier, the ride is a lot of fun. It's just, you know, the ending destination is kind of where it's like, okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of unfair though. Like for most movies, like they do such a good ride, like they set up the ride really nicely well. If it's just a bad third act, or not as of a strong of a third act, kind of just like that's what people will focus on. Like, oh, this is a bad movie and all that. And I just at times that's not. I honestly don't think that's fair, because it's like you said, and I'm sure we'll get to our. You're gonna ask us our final thoughts, but yeah, like. Just I like the roller coaster ride. It's just unfortunately it just wasn't the strongest dip down from a roller coaster that we could have gotten.
Yeah, it's like Weapons. But anyways,
well, hey.
Dude, I'll die on this hill. Weapons is not like as good as everyone said it was. It was great until like the last 15 minutes, but we'll leave that for a different. Okay, now the stream just got better all of a sudden. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
So it's the way this stream was a very good ride. I think Keelan mentioned Weapons. Now it's just a kid drop.
No, but I genuinely, I do think you're good. I do think a lot of movies kind of suffer from this, where like they know how to like get us roped in and excite us, but they don't know how to end. They don't know how to finish the story in a way that like really feels like it had a payoff. I'm trying to think of maybe a movie that I've seen in recent time where I did feel that way. I probably did a review for something, and I don't know, maybe Bone Temple was like one of the ones where I walked down, I was like, hell yeah. But that it's not like a complete story yet. I gotta wait till the third one, but
if we get a third one.
No, we're gonna get a third one.
Well,
if
I
we
know
got
we're
a
gonna
third
get one.
No, if we got a third The Strangers Chapter 3, bro, then we have to get a third. Like there's no way.
No, I know, but hey, that's what there's the rumors right now. The studios might not approve the third one just because it didn't make money in the box office. That's just the rumor I heard, but I'm with you. I think we're gonna get it.
I say we crowdfund it, but anywho, that takes so much money. But yeah, okay. So yes, Brett, we are gonna get into final thoughts. I'm gonna let you guys kind of like rank it or not rank it, rate it. But before I do that, I do kind of want to touch on the actress that played Evie. I don't know her name. I probably should have looked this up beforehand.
I was ready for you, Keelan, for that. Nina Kiri, with Kiri. I'm like the worst.
Nina.
I'm the world's worst at mispronouncing names.
Nina.
Everybody knows this by now. So
What was it?
Nina.
Nina.
did I not say Nina?
You don't know the meme we're referencing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I have no
Just
clue.
vote. Just vote.
I might be
Well,
on.
This is new,
Yeah.
by the way. You're just not up to date, Keelan.
Nope. Social
Mr.
media.
I'm young.
is-
We're the same age, so
You're older than
literally
me.
the
Don't put that on me.
by how long?
Nah. Like
2
a year,
days?
I don't know. I don't know.
All right.
All right, Auntie, stay back. Anyways, yes, I do want to touch on her performance because for somebody who, I mean, she takes on the responsibility. Sorry, I saw Destiny's comment. I'm never coming back here. Well, you're never invited back. But
Good.
anywho,
Good.
after tomorrow, we're through. But I'm just kidding.
Ouch.
No, I mean, aside from, it's easy to play dead, so shout out to whoever played her mom, but like, you did your thing, but like, anybody could have done it. all jokes aside, though, the actress that plays Evie, Nina Kiri, I think you said her last name was. I have no idea, but we're just gonna move past that point. I think she did a really good job. You know, she had the responsibility of basically, you know, carrying the movie on her back. She's the only visual character that we see aside from the mother. And I think really for the most part, every scene that she was in, every different emotion that she had to display was very convincing. It felt very genuine, and it really kept me engaged with the movie the entire time. So yeah, that was one thing that we like hadn't really talked about, and so I wanted to make sure we highlighted that. I'll open the space up for anybody if they have anything else that they want to add to it. If not, we can just move on to like our final thoughts. Have you guys rate it? So if anybody,
I thought she did a great job. Like I had
Yeah.
never seen her in anything else, and I'm not sure if she's been in any other like big movies. But yeah, like I thought that like as far as new horror movies go, like it's really tough to like lead a movie now. I feel like if you're not already a big name, and I feel like I could see her in something else that's maybe
Mhm.
not paranormal, you know.
well, we're gonna see her in the next Paranormal Activity. Watch.
Mm.
The director's just gonna be like, "Yeah, we got good chemistry. Come on."
Maybe this was the beginning of a new Paranormal Activity series, and we just don't know it yet.
I'm gonna look this up. If anybody can take the stand for a second, I just want to look something up and see if what I said
I
earlier
will.
was true. Go ahead, speak your mind. I'd love to hear it.
I actually don't have anything to say.
Amazing, amazing. She never has any thoughts. There's none.
There's no thoughts
just
behind
kidding.
these eyes.
Yeah, me neither.
Shit.
Brett, do your
Nina.
co-hosting thing.
Well, okay. Like with the main actress herself, like we're just being like I gotta be a professional face. Okay, so but yes, so with the main character of this movie, Nina, so- I don't know what they're talking about, but I just feel like saying Nina.
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 I'm gonna look it up afterwards just because I'm now damn curious. But no, the main actress herself, though, I thought she was just okay until we got to those last two files, and then when she was selling fear on her face, which I feel like sometimes it's just hard to do. I thought she did it very, very well, and I think like with the last act, with how what she was given to do, what she was asked to do, I thought she did a really good job, and I felt like that it could open the door potentially for her to like do something else, like enter like this new Paranormal Activity movie, or maybe something from Shudder in the future too. Maybe Shudder's recruiting, like, you know what? Let's get this girl for the next movie and pair her up with Harrison Ford. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just throwing a random name out there. But hey, Harrison Ford's a scary dude. Watch What Lies Beneath. But yeah, I thought she did a really solid job in this movie. So I will give her a passing grade. I would say maybe a B-.
Solid. I appreciate you for filling that dead space because now I got the answer that I needed. This is Google Gemini. You know, AI is wrong at times. Use it sparingly. But it does say Canadian Filipino filmmaker in, not even going to attempt it, known for the upcoming audio-driven horror film Undertone, has been tapped to direct the next installment of Paranormal Activity with James Wan as a producer. So I would like, it's probably gonna be a Paranormal Activity film that I end up liking because I do think a lot of his style and Undertone will lend itself well to a Paranormal Activity film. So that is exciting. But yeah, okay, let's go ahead. Why are we giggling? Is it me? Am I a fucktard?
It's this whole Nina thing that she's
Is it
I'm just
me?
making myself laugh.
I feel like it's me. Am I the joke?
Say it.
No, it's like
Out
laughing
loud.
at your own joke.
Fair enough. You know, I kind of feel bad that we really haven't addressed the chat very much, but I just feel like it hasn't made sense. Maybe I'll scroll through like at the very end before we sign
It's okay.
out.
I've
but
been addressing it.
There you go. Perfect. I'm bad at these things. I'm on the fly here. But anywho, let's go ahead and talk about our final thoughts and give a rating. If you guys don't mind, I'll go ahead, give mine. I've pretty much already given most of them, so I'll be very quick. But I do think overall, Undertone is a really good movie. I think to have the best experience with it, you're either gonna have to go to like a theater experience with like the Dolby Atmos, or if you're gonna watch it at home, watch it in headphones in the dark by yourself, so that you kind of get the biggest effect. I think it stands in like sort of a niche corner in its own, as far as the sort of feelings it gave me, the way that they play with your audio senses. I'm sorry, I got distracted by the chat. I need to look away. Look away. But overall, I mean, even though I did leave the theater, excuse me, I'm so sorry. That probably, if y'all could hear what I just heard in my ears, that was diabolically disgusting. So I'm so sorry. I do think that the movie is a lot of fun. This is chaos. I can't. Who let me do this? Who hired me? But no, like the movie is a lot of fun. The ending, it didn't pay off in the end. I am interested to give it another watch now that I've seen it once, to sort of try to pick up on the things that maybe I didn't pick up the first time, especially with like the sort of information and the opinions and the perspectives that you guys have given on the movie. I mean, watching movies more than once is always fun because you do pick up on those certain nuances and whatnot. So I do look forward to getting a chance to see it again once it goes to like streaming or something. I'm not gonna go see it in theater, but I do think that it is worth at least going and checking out in the theater once. It is a lot of fun, and I'm interested in seeing the people that worked on this movie, what they do in the future. The director, if he does do Paranormal Activity, or if he does do something else, he's obviously very talented. He did a good job directing the movie. The actress that plays Evie, interested in seeing what she does next as well. I can't. Is it me? Should I just sign off now?
I just saw
You
that.
guys can do
It's
it.
just it's
It's not you.
Who
It's
is Nina? Who the fuck is
I'll send you
Nina?
the video after this ends. I'm gonna send you the video.
Why does he get
I
it
need a
now and
cop-
I get it
I need
later?
a copy of this video too because I'm curious.
I am so listen.
If
I've
you
been
know, you
doing
know.
this. I've been behind on the memes and shit since I was like 16. It's a bad thing. It's followed me my whole life. But whatever. Yeah, if I had to give it a rating, we'll go through a skip. I can't. I just want to end it now. Not my life, but the stream. Just saying. But if I had to give it a rating, we'll go through like out of 5. I'm leaning towards like a 3.75 out of 5, maybe a 4 out of 5. The ending really kind of ruins it for me, so I think I'll sit at a comfortable 3.7 out of 5. And then whoever raises their hand first can take the next section of giving their final thoughts, because I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Rock, paper,
goes
scissors.
faster.
Rock,
Okay.
paper, scissors.
You go first.
What are we going on? Shoot.
All right. Okay.
right.
Wait, are we saying shoot? Yeah, let's say shoot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll go. We'll go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Do it. Here we
Okay.
go.
Okay, Destiny, you can go first.
No, this is entertaining. Go. Let's see it.
Okay, here we go. On 3. 1,
Okay.
2, 3. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
We're gonna be here all night.
Shoot.
Okay.
Okay, Desi, what do you think about the movie?
I'm having fun. I thought it was all right.
First time ever.
It was all right. I gave it 3.5 out of 5. I was also kind of between like a 3.5 and a 4, but I also agree. I think the ending it didn't live up to the rest of the movie, how it made me feel. I think if the ending was a little bit more fleshed out, I would have given it a 4. So I'm at a 3.5 out of 5.
All right, now rock, paper, scissors.
No, I'm just
kidding.
giving it to them. I
Yeah.
concede. White flag.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I would also give it a 3.5 out of 5. It was like a solid 4 for me up until the meditation scene. I'm telling you. That's when it flipped for me, and in the very end I was like, wow. It was above Tubi, but it was like it was giving Shutter original. And I was
Above
like,
Tubi is crazy.
like it was a step above Tubi, but like I don't know. I was let down just because I was so hyped going into this movie. But I did that to myself. It wasn't their fault. Yeah. I feel like it was very average horror movie.
So right when we left the theater, I gave it a 3 out of 5. But after we were talking about it, like probably like an hour went by, and I took it down to a 2.5, just because I felt like there was a lot of plot holes,
It was I gasped.
and there are parts that I was bored at, unfortunately, and I think I wanted so much more than what it was.
Yep.
Okay, final thoughts. I really appreciate the attempt of this movie. I appreciate the idea that they want to challenge us as a movie viewer to kind of use our ears, like just to listen to the scares and the setup and everything. I appreciate the attempt. I appreciate A20. I was about to say 80-24 for some reason, but A20. A24. I appreciate them for taking a chance on this interesting idea just to see if it could just stick the landing for all the ever great A24 movies that we have gotten. Unfortunately, it does not land at the end, but I definitely like the ride as well. Like when I left the theater, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. But after talking with this, thinking more about it, and Desi, I'll see your chat in the comments. You're trying to pull off a pod mortem thing, so I'm going to join you on that. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 Ninas.
You know, I feel like this is considered bullying. I feel like you could really classify this as like a hate crime, to be honest. Because you're gonna come on my show on my birthday and give me a birthday present on my birthday.
On my birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh shit. Oh man, that is too funny. That is.
Oh, this was a good night.
Oh man, crazy. I don't know why
That
you guys
meme
are
is
so
so
nervous.
old, by the
I
way.
knew it was gonna be great. It is like one of the best. It is one of the best memes ever. I'll die on that hill.
On my birthday gift with the other birthday.
You really?
I guess I'm going to be like Keelan and just keep acting old because I have no fucking idea what's going on.
Loiter Squad, Tyler the Creator. I'll send it to you, Brett. I'll let you know. I gotta fill you in. I won't let you go outside.
I'll send you a copy.
Bam, bitch, we're damn.
That was great. Yep, we'll end it on a high note. Okay. That is fun. That is fun. Them's the thoughts on Undertone.
Wait, whose birthday is it today?
Oh,
Somebody in the chat
shit.
saying somebody's birthday. I was like, it's Keelan's birthday ain't till December.
It is Keelan's birthday. Keelan,
No,
Don't
happy
try to
birthday.
Very funny.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Don't
Happy
join
birthday,
in.
Keelan.
What is
my
wrong
birthday's
with
next
you?
month, so I'll take it. But okay,
Brett
happy
is-
birthday,
yeah.
Keelan.
All right. Well, apparently, and now I'm 26. So now I'll be turning 27. Y'all know what that means.
I'm 27, so stop.
Ooh.
Wait till
Alright, we'll move
everybody
You'd
on.
like that,
turns-
wouldn't you?
Wait
Absolutely
until everyone
not.
turns 67. Wait till everybody turns 67, and we're just doing this.
Brett, we're done with that joke.
Oh,
We're done with
son of
that.
a bitch.
I'll never be done with that.
We're on to Nina.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say. Now that meme has come out, 6'7" pops up in everything that I watch. Okay, I can't get away from it. It's there.
No, have you ever seen number 23 with Jim Carrey?
I just bought it. It's sitting right next to me. I haven't even put it on my shelf. I've not
That's so
seen it
weird.
yet.
That's literally what that is, though, is like when he starts to notice that 23s and everything, he like kind of goes crazy. It is the
Mhm.
same thing, but I also just think it's when you start to note, if you're specifically looking for something, you will start to see it in more places. Because it's the same thing with me. I go back and or like even taking orders at work, a lot of the totals, it's 678. So there's 6, 7 and a lot of stuff. But it literally is like the movie number 23, where 6, 7 is in everything. We just didn't know until it became a meme.
Yeah. Yeah, for the longest time last year, I would look at the clock and it would always be 12:34, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it would happen to me all the time. Super
Have you
weird.
I
looked it
always
up what
see
that means?
217.
Oh, okay,
217.
weapons.
I do always see 217. Like every time I look at my phone, it's 217. I'm like, oh my God, that's so weird.
Well,
February
I'm
17th.
11/11. I got a gift knowing when it's 11/11. Okay, nope. Okay.
What about you,
Just-
Tyler and Roscoe?
Any
So I
numbers that
looked
stick out
What
to you?
the
I
fuck
looked
are
at
we
Roscoe
talking
because like
about?
I was also a 1234 person, like for like
Dude.
like a straight year, like a couple years ago. Yeah, that's just weird that you said that.
Yeah. It's crazy work.
Spooky.
But anywho, yes. Okay.
Ooh.
We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Like, oh, never mind. I'm gonna bite my tongue on that joke. Not for the live. Anywho, what do we all have planned, guys? What do you guys have coming up? I'll start with Brett. We'll go to Tyler, and then we'll go to Destiny. And you guys can let us know what you guys have having coming up on your channels. If you guys have any future plans, any of that sort of stuff.
Okay, well, as Keelan mentioned earlier in the stream, that he is my co-host on Chills and Thrills, the YouTube channel where we do horror movie watch parties. And right now we are in the theme for cabin style horror movies, so anything with a cabin in it. And tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern time, we will be watching Evil Dead from 2013, which it will be the uncut version. And we are going to bring special guests on. Destiny over here, so she has agreed to be on with us to deal with us for back-to-back nights. So I know she's really looking forward to it. So that will be tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And for Good Real Hunting, we are taking a break this week because we are on a particular project or a business trip, as we call it. So we cannot get into like any details of what that is yet until maybe later on in the year or when we're allowed to talk about it. But when we come back, we are going to be doing the real March Madness tournament, which is the one time a year on our horror channel that we step outside of the horror genre and do something non-horror related. And we are going to do a 64 movie tournament for the best comedy movie of all time. So that's what's coming up on Good Real Hunting.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun. I didn't know you guys were stepping out of horror. I must have missed the memo
one
on
time
that.
a
Fake
year.
fan.
It's always.
Oh my god, shut up.
Hey, don't pretend you're not impressed. I just hit that spot on with my camera.
I didn't even see what happened.
Watch the replay.
Watch that replay. All right, who wants to take the next go around? Does anybody have anything planned?
We are going to be filming all next weekend at Horror Hound Weekend Cincinnati. That is huge. Like Horror Hound's big anywhere, but like Cincinnati, it is a massive one. And it's cool because like we're like 25 minutes from where it's happening. Like we can just come home afterwards rather than like
Hell yeah.
hotel and that.
Lucky.
But yeah, we're gonna try maybe to film some more celebrity videos, but like that, I don't know. Horror Hound is like a weird situation for filming with celebrities because it's like so packed. Like a lot of them are less likely to do little short clips, but you never know. Like there's going to be a few people there that I would like to try to get, but we're definitely going to film some stuff in general, and then we're going to go to the film festival at least one of the nights because there's a few movies there that are showing that look pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna try my best. Keela knows I am like so off and on with my YouTube. It is insane. Like I filmed all these celebrity interviews way back in like 2017, 2018. Like a bunch in a row and then just totally fell off the earth for 6 years and like resurfaced like last year, and like we've been filming some stuff together. We did Scarefest last year in Lexington, Days of the Dead in Indianapolis, which we have thoughts on Days of the Dead if you've ever been to one of those. Not to get us
I've
canceled
been
from
to
Days of the
plenty.
Dead. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because I want those free media passes. But yes, I'm gonna try to film more in 2026. That's my goal.
And if I could just interject for a second, I think the time is now, Tyler. I think it's divine intervention. I got back into doing my YouTube last year. You saw my TikTok. I just got on TikTok. It was like I was
True.
new to TikTok. You messaged me. We got to talking. I checked your old content. It's good. It's aged like fine wine. It's still fun to watch. And you know what? It is. I like the older YouTube style. Like, I had edited some of my older videos in the past with like really fast, try to like do them really fast and like have all like the cool, interesting things. And one of the things that you said to me about like my videos that stuck out to you is the fact that I didn't have a lot of that in more of my, I guess more of the videos I was putting out around the time where you found my channels. It wasn't really about that. It's more about me talking, having a little bit of some visual aids, a little bit of sound effects, but like I'm not going Mr. Beast on my videos and stuff. So, but yeah, we met around that same time, and you've given me tons of words of encouragement up to this point. I've given you words of encouragement to get back on the horse and try to make videos and stuff. So I think the time is now. It's really exciting. I ail everybody here to go check out Tyler's channel. The link is in the description. Watch his older videos, but he also did post a Halloween ranking that inspired me to do a Halloween ranking on my channel back in October. He's very well spoken. You can tell that he loves what he's talking about. And he's just a very genuine, nice guy. So if you guys are, I think majority of people are probably unfamiliar with him at this point, but I really wanted to have him on here with us. And, I'm happy we have Roscoe as well. It was a very late addition, but super exciting. Good people who just love horror, love talking about it. And go check out his channel, go check out his older videos, give him words of encouragement to get him back to making content, newer stuff. And yeah, he can become a part of the community that we're all building over here. I was just welcomed in. I'm trying to get you welcomed in. It's a good time. So if anybody has not checked out any of Tyler's stuff, or if you guys are unfamiliar with him, be sure to click his links down in the description. His TikTok is also funny, especially if you guys like I don't know, Midwest Ohio funny TikToks. He does quite a few of those, and they're pretty funny. So
my TikTok is very different than the YouTube.
Yes,
TikTok I was way more active, but yeah,
it's still a lot of fun. But yeah, just wanted to make sure I got that out there. I'm really happy that you guys decided to come on with us. Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, it's exciting having you guys on. So I will pass it on to Destiny now. I am wordy and long-winded, but I'll give her a spotlight. I apologize for doing that. Yeah.
Well, kind of going after all those nice words. I'll be on Chills and Thrills tomorrow for Evil Dead 2013. Yeah, it's fine. It's okay.
Wait, she's coming on with us tomorrow?
I don't have to.
You didn't verify this with me ahead of time.
Even though she'll owe me $4.
I think we already said
Brett, but you're supposed to discuss this with me ahead of time.
Not owing you anything. It's from all that ad revenue. You owe me.
Oh, that's true. Damn, I'm just going
to
keep
is
my mouth
true.
shut.
Wait, we get paid?
Brett does when he puts ads in his streams.
Yeah. I like
his
money.
short streams with 4
like
ads.
money.
Yeah, the Fright Bites ads are
money.
crazy.
Right? Literally, it was like 5 minutes in and I got an ad. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Anyways, but
broken.
It's fine. So yeah, Chills and Thrills tomorrow, Evil Dead 2013. And then on next Tuesday, I believe, I will be on Fachi Cinema, Matt's channel. and we will be discussing movies that we love that other people hate. And that's all I have.
I love that.
That is a good one because I was literally trying to think of movies. I'm like, I don't really know. Okay, rude. That's the whole point of the episode. I was trying to think of movies that I like that other people don't like, and Skinamarink is actually a really good answer. Thank you.
So don't ask me for the next one. I know that's going to be on the list.
What is it?
One
I need help. I don't know.
Hack-a-lantern.
Hack-a-lantern. That's a legitimate good movie.
You're welcome.
It's so. Have y'all seen Hack-a-lantern?
No.
Oh, damn it. I'm sorry, guys.
Add it to the list. Add it to the list. It is so good.
Snakes on a Plane.
But it's a lot of fun. That's an actual good movie. That's legitimately a good movie. It has character growth. It has good scenes, memorable moments, quotable lines. There's nothing wrong with Snakes on a Plane.
And they have motherfucking snakes. Like.
And it ends with a really good music video for the movie. A really good song by Cobra Starship. So yeah, check out Hack-a-Lantern.
Is crazy.
They did a song for it. And Samuel L. Jackson is in the music video.
I forgot they existed.
Yeah, that's like a crazy throwback.
I'll never forget.
We're like 7
because of that one song. 6 or 7.
Yeah.
One of those.
Destiny, we're done with that. It's Nina now. It's Nina. You need to stop.
Nina.
But
you need to stop.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah. Anywho, I'll definitely be.
That's all I got.
I'll be in the chat for that stream with you and Fachi because that is a great idea. I tend to like a lot of bad movies, like Sharknado.
We know.
Yeah, we know. I wear the badge with honor. It's fine. Yeah. This has been a fever dream. I've had fun. It's great. No, but seriously, I apologize to everybody in the chat for us not really like addressing the chat much. This just didn't really feel like a stream where there was like a lot of like good pausing time. I really hate this. Like, put the fucking phone down, Brett. You're distracting me.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Asher said I owed Destiny tickets for Ready or Not too. I'm trying to remember that conversation.
Anywho, yeah, it just felt kind of weird trying to address the chat when it's moving, and we're also trying to like keep on track with what we're talking about as far as the movie goes and stuff. But there were a couple more names. I know my girlfriend's mom popped in here for a second. Vicky, love you. Thank you for tuning in. She watches all of my streams. She's a very great support system. And then there was another name that I noticed was new that I did not address. At some point, they're in there. You know who you are. I've never talked to you. You've never talked to me, so I'm talking to you. Yes, but thank everybody. Thank you guys all in the chat for coming in and watching. I'm still getting new to... I'm still getting new. I'm still getting used to this streaming stuff because I'm new. Yeah, historically, I feel very nervous and awkward about these things, but it gets easier and easier. And luckily, I had great people on with me to kind of take away some of the responsibility and the weight of that stress off my shoulders. But it's always nice having you guys pop in, be in the stream, and in the chat waiting for us to come on. And yeah, it means more to me than you guys know and that I will ever explain, because I'll never let you know. The left hand cannot know what the right hand is doing. But anywho, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Brett, Destiny, Tyler, Roscoe, I appreciate you guys for making the time to come on my channel, talk about this movie. I figured it would be kind of a fun one where we all would kind of have different perspectives on it. So thank you guys so much. It has been a pleasure. Chat, it's been a pleasure. And we're going to go ahead and sign out here. As always, I say this in all my outros. Be safe out there, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.